Welcome everyone to Real Talk with my homies.
Now I have game plans. I know what I'm doing on the ground, and that spun into me.
Together they turned Fight Night into $1 billion soundtrack.
Been loosely a part of their camp where I've rolled with them, sparred with them.
Only in Houston can you buy a couch, end up rooting harder for the Astros than your back support.
The worst part, man, is cutting weight. I have never been a part of a weight cut in my entire life.
Yeah, we both had to answer to the NCAA is about where it starts and stops.
Cool being a what different from football. It's just a whole different thing.
Yeah, you still get the physicality.
Yeah, I crave human contact, so that's why I go to jiu-jitsu.
The game's not even over yet, and I'm like, all right.
Get ready for fights.
Welcome everyone to Real Talk with my homies. I'm your host, Jake Wardrop, licensed real estate agent with Homepage Realty, and today I'm joined by another cousin of mine, Vincent Lococo. Vincent is the host of From the Pink Seats.
Yep.
Is that still?
From the Pink Seats and co-owner of the State of Louisville podcast network, which is home to 4 original Louisville shows. Yeah. So we do Louisville football, which is From the Pink Seats. Starting 502 is your men's basketball. Third and Central would be your baseball. Mm-hmm. And then we have a interview type show called It's 502 Somewhere, which is basically interviewing anyone from Angel McCautry to a guy that has directed multiple Jack Harlow music videos.
Yeah, so. I see we got the Pink Seats polo on.
Oh, yeah. We got some branded stuff.
Repping the brand.
Of course.
So Vincent, like I said, is my cousin, has a very successful career in the media as well, also has a full-time job.
Yep.
So you do got to pay the bills somehow.
Of course, yep.
Vincent played football, Trinity High School here locally, then went on to play at U of L. Were you a manager at U of L, or what was the official title?
My title was a student assistant, and if you looked probably deeper, my title was probably something in nutrition because they just found some avenue to pay me through.
That's normally how it works.
But I would do anything from run meetings with Gunnar Brewer, who coached Randy Moss, Justin Blackman, Des Bryant, coached all these Biletnikoff Award winners. So I was really fortunate to learn a lot of football under him. And then I signaled for the offense. So every play that came in for Louisville from 2019 to 2020, your fall, both those fall seasons, I likely signaled in to Malik Cunningham.
Yeah, that's where most of me getting to see you on TV came from.
Yeah.
I always saw you right there next to the coach.
Yeah. It's my mom's like, how do you always end up? I'm like, I have to hear what he says. I don't, it's a loud stadium.
You're not clout chasing TV time. Like you got to be there.
Of course. Yeah.
It doesn't hurt that you're on TV, but like you still have a job to do. And the job is to get it from the coach.
They'd send me some wild stuff, videos of me doing some dummy signals dummy signals are just made up off the top of your head. So you're doing creative, goofy stuff, and pretty easy for a guy like Connor Stallions to pick that up, though. So
that's true. We can talk about that in a little bit if you want. That's a fun one.
Oh yeah.
So we'll get into U of L here in a little bit, but we'll start off with the Buffer brothers. So this has been on my list for a while. This is applicable because you enjoy MMA and boxing and all that. So Michael Buffer, we all know who Michael Buffer is, the legendary announcer. Let's get ready to rumble. Also know Bruce Buffer. Iconic. It's time. From the Octagon. We all know they're brothers.
Yes.
But what if I told you there was a world for the first 30 years of their life, they did not know they were brothers?
Yeah, I remember hearing this story I can't remember how long ago at this point, but I think it goes along the lines of Bruce watching Michael Buffer on TV, asking their dad about that, and then his dad doing son.
Yeah, So Bruce discovered Michael on TV and was like, hey, we're kind of similar.
Yeah.
We also kind of look alike.
Yep.
And we also have the same last name.
It's ironic, huh?
Yeah, what are the odds? And so he asked his dad, and his dad was like, yeah, actually, from a past marriage, I had another child, and I mean, can we call a spade a spade? It's kind of a scumbag dad.
Yeah, pretty bad. Yeah,
hide an ex-family from somebody.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't do that.
Like knew, which was to be honest, there was a time he was the only one that knew that these two famous voices.
I want to see them flip flop one time. Yeah. I want to see Bruce hop over and do a boxing and see Michael hop over and do a UFC just to see because they have two completely different vibes when they're doing that stuff. Michael is definitely a little bit more buttoned up and I guess you would say put together. I mean, UFC is a little unhinged, and Bruce gets to have
somebody
fun.
It's a little more. Yeah, you need somebody that's a little more
juice. I guess is the right term.
But like just not to tell your kids at all is.
That's bad.
It's a move. It's definitely a move.
How do you not bring that up though? Like my grandpa was married before my grandma and had a kid, and I've known about my dad's half brother my entire life.
Yeah. So
I mean, I've never met him, but I've known who he exists. I know he exists at least. Yeah. You know.
What does his dad's voice sound like? I want to know.
I have no idea.
Right,
I'm
squeaky.
Sure
it's like a mouse.
There's no way.
Mousy.
There's no way.
He's just got this terrible voice.
You can't produce two amazing sounding men and not have a great voice. I mean, they're the voices of boxing and UFC.
Yeah. If they were like the barista at Starbucks, you'd be like, why are you doing this, man? You should be announcing basketball games. You should be doing hockey games.
Right. If I had somebody yelling my Starbucks order like that, it's time.
I'd go to Starbucks every day.
Yeah, I would be like, God, please just.
I think we may have just found a new business idea. Starbucks for the Buffer fans. Yep. But yeah, like so together, just to kind of go full circle, together they ended up trademarking "Let's Get Ready to Rumble." It's generated millions of dollars in licensing. I think because Kentucky basketball tried to do this one time. You have to pay like at least $1 million to get him to say, "Let's get ready to rumble." Right. But he'll say, "Let's get ready to round ball." That's what Kentucky paid him to do. We took the cheap way out. We took the Temu buffer.
That's fair.
And had him say, "Let's get ready to round ball."
Did you have to pay him $500,000 for that
I don't know. Well, yeah, that's what I was getting at, is it's probably way cheaper to do it that route.
You think when he sends his pricing sheets out, it's like, I'll do "Let's get ready to rumble" for $1 million, and then he's got a small little fine print of.
But if you're on a budget, I can do this for you.
Yeah. God.
So obviously Michael owns boxing, Bruce owns the UFC. So two voices, one family, and together they turned Fight Night into $1 billion soundtrack.
I mean, I couldn't imagine having a family like that to where you can go to any boxing, any mixed martial arts event for free. Oh, let me call my brother and see if I can get 2 tickets.
Also, I think if you're just famous,
that too,
you could probably just go anyway.
Yeah,
you don't have to have the
but
voice.
Then you got to spend money and stuff like that. I bet if you call your brother, call Michael, let me get tickets to Canelo Alvarez and
What's the one that Netflix has a special that's going on right now?
It is Canelo.
I thought it was Canelo.
Canelo versus Bud Crawford.
Okay,
so Bud Crawford.
I haven't watched a second of any of those. Were they any good?
I haven't watched much of it. Okay. I mean, UFC is so much more interesting to me just because of the personalities that come with it. They don't get paid a lot, so it seems like they're fighting a lot more. Boxing is all political, point system, not as fun and everything. So
yeah, sometimes boxing can get a little long.
Yes. I mean, I watched the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight, and I've never been more. I mean, I was pretty freaking bored.
Yeah. I remember we got back from a cruise to watch that fight. Like, we came back from a cruise, instead of like going home and spending time with our families and like relaxing from a long, like 6-day cruise.
Right.
And we had to drive to Mobile, Alabama. We drove home after we landed.
Oh my God.
I guess technically docked.
Yeah.
We drove home, but that night was McGregor and Mayweather.
Yeah.
So we ended up just going over one of the guys' houses.
That's
and
funny.
All of us half asleep, groggy as can be, or just like trying to muster the strength to make it through this fight.
We watched that at. Funny enough, I was playing at Louisville at the time, and one of my teammates was friends with Walker Wood. I played quarterback at Kentucky, Lexington Lafayette High School, and he's like, "Hey, why don't y'all ride down to Lexington, watch the fights?" Cool, we'll ride down there. Me and some Louisville football players rode down, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna go over to my buddy's house, Walker is, and watch these fights." We go over to his buddy's house, and it's Drake Jackson's house, who's the starting center at Kentucky. And now you have 4 Louisville football players in a house full of nothing but Kentucky football players.
Yep.
Just completely in enemy territory. And I'm like, this is not good.
I did not sign up for this.
No, and I'm standing there the whole time talking to a guy. He's got dreads, and we're just talking. Super nice guy the whole time, talking about the fights, and fight ends. I'm like, "Oh, what's your name, man?" He's like, "Benny Snell. Nice to meet you." I'm like, "God, you just ran for $150, 200 yards on my defense. You need to get out of my face, dude."
That's funny. All right, we got to pay some bills. Scott Taylor isn't just your State Farm agent. He's your neighbor, your supporter, and your go-to for insurance with a local heartbeat. Protect what matters with someone who knows what matters to you. Scott Taylor at State Farm is where locally means something. Good neighbors make great agents. Call Scott Taylor at State Farm, serving your hometown with more than just coverage. To contact Scott and get a free quote, call him directly at 502-449-4300. Like a good neighbor, Scott Taylor is there. So I was really excited that, what was this, maybe 5 or 6 years ago? The Jake from State Farm jokes finally kind of died off.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then they're like, "Hey, let's bring it back." We haven't heard about it lately, so they brought the new guy in, and honestly, he's way better than the last guy. So
whatever happened to the last guy?
The last guy is a State Farm agent.
He's an actual State Farm agent.
So
okay.
He just still sells insurance. He actually was Jake from State Farm. Not to be confused, I'm not Jake from State Farm.
You think he's ever like, they used to be me? That could have been me right there, man.
That was me at some
stole
point.
My whole flow.
He probably looks a little different. I think those commercials were from like the 90s.
Yeah, right.
He probably looks a little dated.
Khakis.
Oh, man. All right. Moving on, we got to talk about a Houston legend. Not our other cousin, Daniel.
Yep.
Houston legend, a man who turned $5,000 investment into a furniture empire, turned his store into a shelter during hurricanes, and turned sports betting into marketing gold. Yes, we are talking about the polarizing Mattress Mack. So Mack runs a promo, which candidly is pure genius.
Yeah.
I've tried to figure out how you could apply that to any other business, and I can't.
You can't. Yeah, I can't figure that one out.
So basically, 3,000. You got to here. If you don't know who he is, he owns a furniture store in Houston. Bets a crazy amount of money on major sporting events.
Yep.
He buys $3,000. His promo is if you buy $3,000 worth of furniture, and his team wins, then you get your furniture for free. So you spend $3,000 on some couches and a kitchen table, and you still have to pay it. You pay it, but he will then place a bet at the next soonest major sporting event,
like Astros game or anything.
So for us,
like that?
it would be the World Series. Like he only does the big ones.
So
he's not going to do like a Tuesday Astros.
That's what I was
Rangers
wondering.
Game.
Is it a random game?
Yeah, no, it's like the big one.
Okay.
So who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to win the World Series?
Right.
Who's going to win the college football playoff? Things like that.
Yeah.
So if that bet wins, then he refunds you the purchase of your furniture. So you're basically riding.
Gamblers love buying stuff.
They do. Yes, exactly. So his biggest win ever, just for context, he won $75 million in 2022. He bet on the World Series, bet on the Astros to win the World Series. I guess the Astros are plus 750 because
that was
it paid out.
Yankees should have won, right? Whenever they cheated.
I think that was Trash Can Gate.
Yeah.
It's actually technically the Dodgers should have won, but I get it. You're getting your years confused. The biggest loss, he lost $13 million betting on the Astros in the 2019 World Series. That was against the Nationals.
Loved that one.
That's when they realized that we should probably use trash cans.
I'm a big fan of whenever Mattress Mack loses because it's just hilarious. The amount of money that he is losing.
It's crazy. Now, does it make, it's not technically losing money.
True, yeah.
It's somebody else paying for it, but
it's your multiple $3,000 couches that you bought.
Yeah, 2022 he lost $9.5 million on the Super Bowl.
Yep,
he picked the Bengals, and they didn't win. College football, he lost $6.1 million on Alabama in 22. 22 was a bad year for him.
Yeah,
on some losses. Actually, I take that back. No, he won the 75 for the Astros, so he's good. He's good. But he did win in 2022. He did win $12.2 million on Kansas college basketball. He's placed multiple bets on the Derby. Never wins any of those.
Never hit the Derby.
Yeah, he's lost, let's see, multiple seven-figure bets, 22, 23, and 25. None were winners yet.
I feel like that's a hard one to get.
It is. He picks generally like the
favorite, I assume.
Yeah,
right?
And I don't think the favorite has won the actual favorite has won the Derby in like 6 years or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's always been like for the most part, it's always been one of the main favorites.
Yeah,
but like the actual favorite, I don't think has won in like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So he's on a bad streak there.
That one's damn near just close your eyes and pick one. As long as it's not the longest odds, you might have a good shot.
Yeah, I'm on a good hot streak of hitting big bets on the Derby.
Derby.
I think this is like third straight year I've hit pretty big on the Derby.
Yep.
But I took a bath all day leading up to the Derby.
Are you on Twin Spires, I assume?
Yeah, Twin Spires. If you want to do ads, Twin Spires, by the way. If Mr. Twin Spires is watching, I will gladly
take that one for sure.
Yes. So, all right. Only in Houston can you buy a couch, end up rooting harder for the Astros than your back support? No? All right. What about, forget FanDuel, Mac turned his furniture store into the biggest sports book in Texas.
Oh, my gosh.
Which I guess technically is true because I don't think FanDuel's legal in Texas. I went to Austin for the UK-Texas football game.
That was a good one.
And I remember I had to place all my bets before. It actually was. We didn't get our teeth kicked in, believe it or not. There was a moment that Texas.
There was no moment in that game.
There was.
You thought
no, there was. You don't remember the game. If you remember the game, there was a moment.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, it's Texas.
It's still Texas,
you
but
ain't win that one.
There was a moment.
Oh my gosh!
And it was late in the game. It wasn't like, we thought we had a chance at the coin flip.
Yeah,
like,
right.
No.
Yeah.
This was late in the third quarter. I think it was a 1-score game, maybe a 2-score game, and we had the ball.
Right.
Like it was way closer than it should have been. Texas fans started to get a little nervous. The atmosphere in the stadium was starting to get very nervous.
Yeah. I've never been to Texas. I'm going this year for the
really
SMU game. Going to Dallas with some of the guys from Marshall.
Is it in Jerry World?
We're playing at SMU.
Oh,
so yeah. I mean, still, I've never been to Dallas, Texas in general, but SMU I've heard pretty decent campus. Their stadium looks pretty cool, so it's always fun getting a road game.
Austin was awesome. We stayed. We rode the little scooters all around downtown Austin. We hung out at the basketball arena for tailgating. Yep. That was cool. What I do? I think I bought my wife a pair of team licensed boots.
Yeah,
because
some cowgirl boots.
Yeah, and they sold Kentucky, which was kind of cool.
That's wild.
It's a national brand, but they just set up at. I think they're based out of Austin, but it's a national company, so they catered to the SEC.
Right.
So they had everybody. Like I could have gotten
everybody caters to the SEC.
Yeah, I could have gotten Gamecock, boots if I wanted to. So all right. Got to pay one more bill, and then we can get rolling. I'm excited to share my partnership with Senior Family Solutions and their Easy Equity Loan Program, a game changer for sellers looking to maximize their home's value. This loan allows sellers to tap into their home's equity with no upfront costs, covering everything from contractor coordination to invoices, all paid at closing. Whether you're downsizing, upgrading, or simply preparing your home for top dollar, this program makes renovations seamless and stress-free. If you're ready to take advantage of this opportunity, give me a call or visit Senior Family Solutions to get started. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. You are, in our family, patient zero.
I had to show my dad this one yesterday.
You are the first. I was St. X. My older cousins were St. X. My grandpa was St. X. Your dad was St. X for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, he was J-Town.
Yeah,
yes.
But he went to St. X for a minute. He was there. Coached at St. X.
Yep.
And then you decided to zig with everybody's zag. Obviously, that clearly worked out. You started a trend.
Yep.
But what was just going back to 6th, 7th, 8th grade, leading up to that?
Right.
How did that conversation start, and where did it go?
Like all 7th grade, I would have told you I was going to St. X. Had the 3-quarter St. X football zip up, gray zip up that all the players had and everything. That was great and all. Man, it really started probably before that, though, where Trinity really got in my brain. At the Dennis Lampley football camps, whenever I was real little, everything was, loved it, loved Coach Lampley, loved everything about Trinity, but obviously everybody was all St. X. I was just going with a friend.
Yeah.
And then I start to do decently well in football and everything, and Coach Beatty and those guys start coming to games, and they start talking to me, and Trinity's winning a lot. National championships, state championships, 50-game win streak was something that was talked about my entire life because of Jimbo Schaefer and B.J. Ruckriegel and all those guys. So it was definitely in my brain. And then the thing that really rubbed me wrong with St. X was at the time, I don't think he's there anymore, the guy that comes to the middle schools and talks to middle schools about St. X and Trinity and DeSales, they all have like the recruitment
I know what you're
days.
talking about, but I could not remember who.
I would not expect,
couldn't remember who
I just remember the guy had some crooked teeth.
Yeah.
He came up to me when I was shadowing St. X in 7th grade, and I was looking at like an athletic bulletin board, and he came up behind my ear, and he's like, Lococos are supposed to go to St. X. And I turned around, and I was like, my dad went to J-Town. I can go wherever I want. And that rubbed me wrong. And, I went and I shadowed Trinity as an 8th grader, probably not the best week, St. X Trinity week, so they didn't do much school. It was all fun, and that sold me. Shadow Day sold me. Coach Beatty was the main reason for sure.
You get to the game, and then did Trinity win the game?
Yeah.
So it just kept stacking on top.
Yeah, it kept stacking on top, and played in the Kentucky-Tennessee Future Stars game whenever after I took my placement test and everything was all ready to go. I was going to Trinity and played in the Kentucky-Tennessee Future Stars game for Rico Hughes, and the game's played at St. X. And Coach Glazer at the time was still there, and he came up and he's like, Lococo, you know, still got time to change your placement test over if you want to. And I turned and I was getting ready. I was like, Coach, I can't wait to beat your ass next year. And turned around and walked away. That was the last interaction I ever had with Coach Glazer, and he probably didn't like that, but it is, or he might maybe appreciated it a little bit.
He may have appreciated it after the fact. In the moment, he probably didn't. He was like, damn, the kid's got a little something in him.
Yeah. So, I mean, seeing all y'all, I remember going to watch you play pitch at Jim Patterson at St. X, coming out with the whole ice pack on your arm and everything like that. Like, those are vivid memories for me. But something for me was just pulling me to Trinity, and I'm glad it did because
I think it worked out for you.
Yeah, it worked out in the long run. But I mean, when you really look at it, Tony and his wife Susie weren't coming around the family. Any of the little deep dive into our family, they weren't going to any of the family events. Don't know why. Had something to do with my grandpa. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But whenever they moved Uncle Joe and Aunt Josie back, Tony didn't know that, and he didn't know why they got brought back. So
you were kind of a cog. And
when Aunt Josie went into the hospital, he didn't know that. And I went into his office during advising. Tony and I had never had a conversation before, probably 2 years into me at Trinity. And I was like, you probably want to go to the hospital and call Mike at this point in your life. And that has spun into him, Tony and Susie coming to everything.
My parents see him all the time now.
That's probably, like, for me, the biggest impact. My favorite part about Trinity was being able to bring that part of our family back into the fold, which I love. So.
Yeah, and for anyone that's curious, Joe and Josie are my grandparents.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but yeah, it was always interesting that you were the first, and now it's kind of started. Nick went through there. Matt's there right now, crushing it.
Yep.
Nick crushed it already. Now he's off playing college. If I had to guess, I'd say probably there's another one coming through that may end up at Trinity as well. We're out in Bullitt County, so.
You can make that drive. You can make that drive.
My wife used to make that drive.
I work right there in St. Matthews.
My wife makes that drive in St. Matthews you can pick them up then.
Yeah, I'll pick them up and drop them back off.
Drive all the way out to Mount Washington.
That's if you're paying for the tuition, that's all that matters. Is we can just keep pumping the Lococos and Wardrops through Trinity, and it'll be fine.
I think Bullitt East may be a little smitten.
Yeah, Tyler Sharp, my buddy, went there, played basketball at U of L in Northern Kentucky. So.
Yeah, my son is a monster of a human right now.
Yeah, is he doing?
Nothing. He's 3.
Is he picking up baseballs and footballs and stuff?
He now will say, "Daddy, let's go hit." Like, he likes to go out in the front yard. And
how's that feel for you as a dad?
That's awesome.
I mean, that's awesome. What you look forward to, right?
It's so cool. It's like, we're gonna let him do whatever he wants,
right?
But realistically, we're gonna try to figure out a way to force baseball onto him.
Yeah, I'm sure that won't be hard knowing you.
But no, the one thing that I wish that I was able to do growing up was play football.
Right.
Not just for the sport alone, but just for the camaraderie, the team aspect of it, and the values. So we'll definitely put him in football, throw him in everything, kind of see what he's good at, see what he enjoys. But
football did a lot for me, especially whenever I was my first year playing football was the last time I decided I was going to get hit like really hard, because it took one good hit. I got laid out. Dude stepped on my face mask after, and I was like, write that down. That's the last time that's ever going to happen to me. And
moving to defense.
Yep, moving to defense. Yeah,
I'm on my way to defense.
Yeah, I learned a lot of good stuff in football. Stuff I take today. I mean, to team, everything you do is team oriented now. Everything in your world, everything in my world is very much team oriented, and football definitely helped with that.
Oh, 100%. So, all right, gambling. You like to gamble?
I bet.
A little bit?
Yep.
You gamble a lot. Last time we had lunch maybe a couple months ago, I didn't know this. You gamble a lot on UFC.
Yeah, the big cards. Yeah, for sure.
I don't gamble anything on UFC because
it's a coin flip.
I wouldn't say coin flip, but it's just I don't have the I
right.
I appreciate the sport. I enjoy the sport.
Yep.
I respect the sport. I'm not digging into the weeds on things. Like I'm a casual, not going to pretend to be more than that.
Of course, yeah.
I'm a casual. I'll watch the big fights. If I miss the fight, I wake. One of the first things I do in the morning is I'll see what happened.
Check the highlights, of course. Yeah,
check the highlights. So, but yeah, what got you so into UFC just from a fan standpoint, other than just how awesome it is?
Well, Conor McGregor got me into it back in 2014 for sure. I remember being in high school, watching this dude talk about Jose Aldo's going to come out with his right hand and he's going to throw a heavy right hand. I'm going to step back and I'm going to hit him with my left. He's going to be too slow and I'm going to be too quick. And sure enough, 12 seconds later, he does it. Same exactly what he said. And that wasn't the first time that he did that. And I'm telling my dad, I'm like, this guy's like Muhammad Ali of the UFC. He's calling every shot and doing it. And he got me sold on it. I was always a fan growing up, and more casual. I knew who the Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell, the bigger name guys were.
That's kind of where my knowledge started and stopped as well. Yeah.
Exactly. But now with Conor really got me diving into it. And he, a lot like myself, he tore his ACL and won his first title fight. And I was like, for me, that was my whole motivation to get back. My first ACL tear was like, well, this dude did it. And he won a title on a torn ACL, and 2, made it back in less than a year to have a whole nother fight. Now, 2 completely different sports. I do a little bit more cutting and running than he does in a mixed martial arts fight, but still the premise applies of the mindset of getting back quickly and stuff like that. But Conor really got me into it. And at this point, I mean, I do jiu-jitsu. I practice jiu-jitsu. I'm still a white belt. I get my ass kicked by dudes that are, I weigh about 230. Guys that are 115, 120 pounds can easily go in there and bend me.
So I'm always interested when I hear people talk about that, is just how much size really doesn't matter.
Oh, it's the most beautiful sport in the world. I mean, I could take 6'5" offensive, 300-pound offensive lineman and be extremely comfortable on the ground with him, where he's going to just try and tackle me and do like a headlock and the old like just grab your head and pull, to where now I have game plans. I know what I'm doing on the ground. And that's spun into me help train with guys like Lance Lawrence, who fights for LFA, regional promotion, who's fought on Dana White's Contender Series multiple times. Todd Pickett, who's going to be a pro fighter in the UFC eventually in the next 2 years, who are 2 local guys out of our gym that I've helped get ready for fights, been loosely a part of their camp where I've rolled with them, sparred with them. The worst part, man, is cutting weight. I have never been a part of a weight cut in my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been.
So you participate in the weight cut?
Yes. I wasn't like actively trying to cut weight, because from start to finish, as soon as he told me, hey, Vince, I want you there to help me cut weight, you're mainly there for support, to support the dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, I'll be there, man. Start drinking gallons of water. The last thing I'm going to do is cramp, to where he is no water, no food.
That's crazy.
Trying to get as slim and lean as possible. I mean, he's every bit of 6'2", walks around at like 160, 170, fights at 145 pounds. He was standing there after we got out of the sauna, and he's like, you see that right here? And his ab, I was like, that's wild. I didn't know you could flex that muscle in your ab. I mean, I'm a fat guy. I got to drink a lot. Yeah, never had
abs,
that.
Never going to have abs.
He's like, that's not my ab. That's my heartbeat. You could see it underneath his rib cage going, just because popping. He had to he was slim. But that's spun into a whole different thing, and it's cool being different from football. It's just a whole different thing.
Yeah, you still get the physicality.
Yeah, I crave human contact, so that's why I go to jiu-jitsu. It's definitely like an addiction.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot worse things you could be addicted to.
That is true. Yeah.
There's a lot worse you could be addicted to. What when you're looking at gambling on it, what are you looking at? How are you analyzing a fight to try and give yourself win, lose, or indifferent? How are you trying to give yourself an edge?
Just like anything, I'm looking at what you did previously. So if you got knocked out and you have a quick turnaround, if you get knocked out in the UFC, you have a mandatory 3-month period where you can't do anything. They won't let you spar at practice. They won't let you do anything. So you really have to pay attention to, did they get knocked out? Did they get submitted badly? how crazy was it? Did they do a 3-round fight where it was going the whole fight, each round? I mean, nonstop action, because his chin might be depleted now after something like that, or his hands might be broken and he's just not telling you anything. There's a lot of details, and I watch a lot of their training camps as well. Mm-hmm. So throughout the week, UFC posts a series called Embedded, and study that, figure out where the guys' minds are. You can tell a lot about where the guy's mindset is. I mean, Nick Diaz, for example, his last fight in the UFC, he was basically like, I'm doing this for a paycheck. I don't want to be here, which makes it the easiest bet of all time. You fade him because he doesn't even want to be there. And sure enough, he gets stopped in the first round. And it's like, all right, well, that's easy money right there. Mm-hmm. Now, where it gets difficult is you get guys like John Jones who is potentially going to fight Tom Aspinall, 2 of the best heavyweights in the world, going at it. And that's where you sit there and you flip a coin and you say, we'll see who.
Yeah, what exactly?
Who's your favorite guy? Who's your favorite guy here? I'm a big John Jones guy, and it's like, oh, he's never lost in his entire career, but this young buck is nasty. He's had less than like 5 minutes in the octagon his entire career, if you sum up the time that he's fought. And it's like, he could definitely tag him. So it's a lot of things that you look at. Mainly what they did previously is what I'm looking at, and how bad was it. I'm not going to bet on you if you just got your head dribbled off a canvas. That's, I mean.
What do you just take outcome? Do you do anything specific? What exactly do you?
I do a big $5 parlay where it's like $5 to hit for like $2,000, $3,000, bet all the fights, parlay them all, money line together. And then eventually somebody loses in that.
Yeah.
I've hit that once, twice before. And after that, I mainly just go look at who you are. If I know you're a knockout artist, I'll probably bet KO. If I know you're a submission artist, I'll probably bet submission for a finish. I don't like betting the rounds because the rounds are too unpredictable. You know, saying, oh, Jake Wardrop's going to knock out blah, blah, blah in the first round. You can't really, like, you might come out and be feeling it out. And now you're like, well, shit, I just lost $10, $20 on something stupid that doesn't make sense. I usually just go money line because it's clean, it's easy. Yeah, I mean, you can win knockout, submission, any round, any way, decision. It's just super easy. But
so you do a lot of research, but then you just you come back home as a simple bet.
Yes. Keep it simple, stupid, for sure. You don't need to be getting real in the weeds, because that's when you start messing things up, I feel like, especially with that sport. Not like football where you could be like, well, Isaac Brown's going to have, I bet he has 20 yards on the first drive rushing. Yeah. Like that's a lock almost.
Do you ever get like inside scoop on things like that with college football where you're like, I've heard, been around the team this week, and it seems like they're really focusing on the run game this week.
Probably like 2-3 years ago when I had some teammates that I played with still playing for sure, but now not so much. Now it's just me watching film, and I understand football pretty well. And every coach is going to script their first series. So, if you know the vibe of the coach, kind of how the coach calls the game, that helps out a lot for sure.
Yeah. Do you dabble much in college football gambling?
Not so much. Because I know I would like it too much. That's fair. I'm definitely conscious of what I'm betting on and play. And I already do the podcast and do enough with football to the points where, like, when it hits game day, I just want to relax. Sit back, enjoy my team. Hopefully we win, and just have a good time, have some beers with my buddies, and just sit back. So I'll dabble in NFL from time to time with Lamar and the Ravens, and not so much the Dolphins. I'm a Dolphins fan, but I'm not so much the Dolphins. I mean, that's going to be a bad year for us.
Yeah. So. Nobody cares about your fantasy team, but I definitely had a dynasty league and Tua and Tyreek were both on my team, and after that first week, literally halfway through the game, I put them both on the trade block.
Oh gosh,
like the game's not even over yet, and I'm like, all right,
yeah. See, I have
come call, and they're available.
See, I picked up Waddle on my fantasy this year, knowing the situation with Tyreek. I'm like, well, Tua's just going to be looking to him, and then he gets freaking hurt week one. I'm like, this is just even better. So
Yeah, that's I got really back into fantasy this year. I don't want to turn this into a fantasy football talk.
Oh gosh,
no,
I can imagine with you. Man.
I don't want to turn this back into fantasy football. Yeah, if you can game on it, man, I'm interested. So obviously you played at U of L. Life as a D1 college football player,
right?
A little different than life as a D3 baseball player.
Similar.
No, not much. Not much. We both had to answer to the NCAA is about where it starts and stops.
That's fair.
You had a lot more resources than I did. You had a lot more better stuff than I did.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say swag, we had some pretty good stuff.
Yes, y'all had some nice stuff.
But yeah, as far as access, like I had to pay for it though. You probably had like stuff randomly just put in your locker from time to time. We're like, hey, cool, new polo.
100%. Yeah, shoes, polos.
Mine was like twisting.
The craziest thing is we had to give a pair of socks to get a pair of socks. You'd never think that. I wouldn't be asking you for a pair of socks. Like, dude, just give me a pair of socks. That was the biggest gripe for us playing football was getting socks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you never.
Was there anything you still had to buy yourself?
No.
Is there anything you chose to buy yourself?
No, I ain't buying none.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're like, I'm at Dick's and I need a new mouth guard or something.
No, man, mouthpiece. I wouldn't even. Half the dudes don't even wear mouthpieces. I did that one practice about bit through my tongue and ran to a trainer. Was like, I need a mouthpiece. That was stupid. Yeah, I just saw Cam Newton back in the day chewing gum back there, looking cool. I'm like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, and that was back when quarterbacks could get hit too, which is even crazier. Yeah. You know, now I can understand if like they did it today.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like Mahomes ain't getting touched.
No.
What was life like back there in college? Was it what you expected? You know, obviously you had some sort of idea what college football would be like.
Right.
What was life versus what did you think it was?
Well, I didn't think it was going to be like Blue Mountain State. That's for sure.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean.
I had a better chance of it being like Blue Mountain State than
I was like, if I could get like just 1% of that, it'd be great. No, but it was definitely hard. Hard is an understatement.
What was hard? The school, the
all
practices?
Of it, really. I mean, I struggled academically my first year as a student just because I was partying and enjoyed football. That's like all I'm on the football team. I need to worry about school. Your typical athlete mentality. And thank God for my academic advisor, Regina. I mean, I told her, I had to talk with my dad first, who you know my dad. You can imagine how that conversation went.
Yep.
And I went into Regina's office the next day, was like, I need to be in study hall. Whether I tell you I have homework or not, you need to make it mandatory. If I'm not here, I'm going to put me on a punishment board of some sort. And she did, and thank God she did, because I would not have been able to graduate without that big old 6'4" black lady from Atlanta that would dog cuss me all the time. And,
shout out Regina.
Yeah, she is awesome. She actually saved Florida State's academic program. So when you do remember like a couple years ago when Florida State was on like an academic
didn't they have like 37 guys on
so she left
crazy?
Louisville that time to go save Florida State's academic program, and that's why Florida State's football program is kind of not on probation anymore. The two-a-days was hard, man. Like my first year was still a part of the old school rules where you could do two-a-days. You can't do two-a-days now. And I mean, we would practice in the morning. I'd sleep under a pool table and get up, meetings, practice again. And it'd be 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day for 3 weeks straight during fall camp. And you'd have 2 days off in between that. And there were multiple times where I'd call my mom, like, almost in tears, like I cannot do this. Like seeing all my buddies at UK fraternity, I'm like,
they're out having fun,
this is ridiculous. Like I am dying over getting my head kicked in, cussed out in every single meeting. I mean, bad. Football coaches have zero filter.
Oh no, yeah. So I think that's all coaches.
Yeah,
all coaches across the board in college.
It was crazy, man.
If you don't like cussing, that's not the place for you.
Yeah, and 2018 rolls around. We had Lamar 2016, 2017, phenomenal years, and then 2018 rolls around. We go 2-10. I tear my ACL that spring. Coach Petrino gets fired. And I'm like, all right, cool. Praying to God. I'm like, all right, I'm going to quit drinking, quit doing stupid stuff. I'm going to dedicate my time to football and school. So all I did, I picked up boxing, started doing that to try and cut some more weight and everything. And Scott Satterfield and them come in, and I'm the best shape of my life, 215, 12% body fat, like benching crazy, squatting crazy, running the best I've ever ran. We're doing a thing called Dominators, which is essentially a suicide 5 touch goal line, 10, touch goal line, come back, keep going. Well, I went to go touch the 20, and it's a full sprint contest type deal we're doing. Planted, heard a pop, ACL goes again. I was 1 day out from a year post-op. 1 day from a year post-op, and my knee blew out again. And
this was a different knee.
Same knee.
Oh, same knee.
Same knee, right side. And I knew at that one, I was like, that's ACL for sure. And quarterback coach came and picked me up. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not good. No, I'm not good. Like I just blew my knee out."
I know what this feels like.
Yeah, I know what this feels like.
I'm not going to be back tomorrow.
Right. People like to crap on Scott Satterfield and stuff for how he called games towards the end, but I will forever be thankful for Scott Satterfield because he brought me up after that. They called me. We're like, "Hey, come up to the coach's office." I'm like, "Well, y'all are in staff meeting. I don't want to bug y'all." Because Coach Petrino definitely did not want any part of that. And they're like, "No, come up now." Each person on staff shook my hand and was like, "If you need anything, let us know."
I think a lot of, if not all college coaches, I would say by the average fan, above average fan, is judged solely on wins and losses.
Yeah, yeah.
And because that's what
your job is.
Their job is to win. Yeah. But it's also to turn boys into men and move on from that. So
for sure,
that's something that I think probably gets lost in the shuffle. So it's nice that you say something like that because although he was clearly not successful on the field, off the field, he had a massive impact in your life, which is almost, to him,
it's almost
means the world.
Yeah, and it means the world to me. I mean, I don't know where I would be if I didn't have that conversation with Stu Holt, who's now at Virginia Tech, and he's like, "Look, dude, you know the playbook already. I mean, we haven't even started spring football." He's like, "Get this surgery and come be a student assistant with us. You can run tight end room with me, teach you to signal, do all that stuff." So by the time I left and was done at Louisville, I was working with Gunnar Brewer, like I said, who had coached Biletnikoff winners. And I mean, when I say Des Bryant, Randy Moss, and Justin Blackmon, those are three names that you immediately know if you know anything about college football. Justin Blackmon's one of three guys to win the Biletnikoff award twice. So I'm like,
he's one of the best college wide receivers of all time.
Yeah, I'm learning from the GOAT of wide receiver coaches. Like I learned so much football during that time period and came out of my shell to be able to stand up and run meetings in front of my teammates and my peers who I'm now coaching, which was even weirder dynamic.
That's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I can't text my buddies and be like, "Hey, let's go grab a beer on Friday," because now we can't really drink and hang out. Yeah,
there's
a
line has been drawn.
There's definitely a line drawn, and I'm just thankful for it, though. That was probably the most 2020 was the second year, but it was probably the two most enjoyable years of football I ever had. Yeah, just being on the field and coaching and having an impact on guys' lives like that.
What would you say is probably your favorite moment in college?
Playing or coaching?
You pick.
But playing, I didn't play much. I played 2 games. I was still lettered. So I got my
letter. You have to play to enjoy the moment, though.
Yeah, right. But 2016, whenever Lamar was at the peak of his Heisman season and stuff, man, that's you've never experienced college football until you've been around a guy that's getting ready to win the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, I'd say he's arguably top 5 college football player of all time.
For sure. Yeah, he's probably top 3 in my book with Cam, Reggie Bush, and Lamar. I mean, I think Lamar's better than Tebow. If you put him in Tebow's offense, he's putting up numbers that are better than Tim Tebow. I mean, Tebow's throwing to Percy Harvin, and Lamar's throwing to a guy named Jalen Smith, who nobody knows.
Yeah.
And it's like, but in 16, I'm on scout team, and I had a play where I'm running to make a play on Lamar, and he, it's like slow motion. This is a play I'm going to tell my kids about for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Like I got to tag off. You can't tackle the quarterback, but like I got to tackle Lamar Jackson. This is going to be great. I'm running. I'm thinking about this as I'm running, Jake. He looks at me. He points at me. I see that big old grin that he always has. And I had the angle too, and it was like, phew.
I got a feeling you didn't have the angle.
I had the angle. It was right there, and it's just a whole different gear, man. And it's like moments like that, you're like, man, I ain't got no shot at playing the NFL. None. You see dudes like that, you're like, that's the NFL. Yeah. Like, this is where my football stops right here. And You got to be okay with that. But
yeah,
that one, Florida State game in 16 was fun. My favorite coaching was 2019, whenever we went 2-10 and 18, to be able to spin that around and have the best turnaround in ACC history, to win 8-9 games in 19, almost beat Notre Dame, probably the craziest environment I've ever experienced in my life. Everybody from Pat McAfee, ESPN, everybody's like, well, Louisville's back now. Like, Louisville's playing really good. This is not the same 2-10 football team. We go and win the Music City Bowl. That's probably the highlight right there. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, seeing the fans, knowing how hard we worked to get from 2-10 to winning a Music City Bowl against an SEC team in Mississippi State. And it's like, man, it doesn't get better than that. Then
who was quarterback then at Mississippi State?
They had a weird instance that year, man, where their quarterback that week got punched by another player, I believe, and broke his jaw. So I don't know who their quarterback was. Oh, yeah. They had like a weird situation. I just remember, like, the bowl week is like vacation for everybody pretty much, because you're not playing in the national title, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No. Nobody's going to sit here. I'm going to remember the Music City Bowl like it was a national championship. Some other fans are just going to be like, well, y'all won the Music City Bowl.
Yeah. So. You could have given me 10 guesses. I'm your cousin. You could have given me 10 guesses where you played in that bowl game, and I may not have even gotten it.
Yeah, exactly. Man, it was fun, though, to be able to – I remember that Wednesday after we're hearing about this rumored injury from their quarterback, and we're all trying to go and party on Broadway, and my student assistants on the defensive side are like, man, B. Brown's got us cutting up hours of film because Mississippi State's quarterback. I'm like,
so you got to figure out what's going on with the backup and what does he like to do? Who is he?
Yeah. Oh, just had to reset their whole game plan. It was hilarious. Yeah.
Did y'all end up winning that game?
Yeah, we ended up winning that game. A lot of senior, like I like to say, bowl games like that where you have guys sit out and things. The people that aren't going to be sitting out are your seniors that aren't making it to the NFL or might need.
I don't know. Were seniors sitting out back then?
Oh yeah, like
they were still sitting out?
Yeah, like Christian McCaffrey started it all, I believe, back in the day, and then Leonard Fournette sat out in 2016 when we played LSU in the bowl game. Still got our asses kicked, and they had Darius Geis and Jamal Adams. Yeah, big drop off. Like,
sorry, Fournette's not playing, but
here's Darius Geis, another guy that's going to go to the NFL, and it would have been a stud if he wasn't an idiot off the football field. But Jamal Adams was covering every inch of the football field, and Lamar couldn't do anything. So
that's crazy. What's some of the behind the scenes stuff? Any funny situations behind the scenes of game day preparation? I know most of the time everything's a well-oiled machine probably, but
it's a funny well-oiled machine.
What's the chaos that maybe people don't realize?
It's absolute game day. Like, you're scrambling, man, like to get
as a player or as a staff?
As a staff. My position is to make sure that the position coaches aren't scrambling. You want to make that day as smooth as possible. You're laminating their call sheets, getting everything ready, situated so they know where everything's at, and they're all good. Probably the funniest, though, like throughout the week, we make the binders for the coaches. So, like, if we played EKU week 1 this year for Louisville, I would have had to make an EKU binder for the offensive line coach, quarterback coach, everything. They played JMU the next week, same thing for them. This season, 2019, we play Virginia, and we're laughing while we're making these binders. We're like, oh, how funny would it be if you put Virginia on Coach Ledford's, who's now the offensive line coach for the Atlanta Falcons. It's like, how funny would it be if you accidentally did that, or you did that to mess with him, and me not even paying attention actually did it. Like, just,
it was in the back of your mind.
Yeah, and I accidentally like typoed it on the binder.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sitting there doing something, and I hear, Lococo, your ass down here. I'm like, what could this be? Could be anything right now. Yeah,
because you didn't actually, because you didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, I didn't know. And I walk in there, and Led's like, what the F is this? I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, I did it.
Did you just come clean and be like, we thought it was a joke?
Yeah.
Apparently slip.
Yeah, I'm like, Coach.
Brain farted just.
But the assistants are dying because he's just busting my balls. He's just giving me shit. And That's what that whole thing, it's 24/7 ball busting, like 24/7. After games, we'd have like 2-3 hours left to work to tag the film and things like that. And we'd crack open a beer or two. And one day we cracked open beer or two too many. And
yeah. Sure, that has only happened once.
Yeah, they come in the next day to watch the film and they're like, why is the typing so off on this? And we're like,
sense.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, my bad, coach. My bad. He's like, fix this shit before we get to position meeting. This bull. Yeah, that's probably the two funniest though, man. I mean, constantly I had to go get a coach's oil change one time. You have to do the most random stuff.
Yeah.
Go get pizza and not get offered any of the food whenever you get back. They're like, oh, thanks. See ya.
What was it? I think it was last year. There was a UK football player that was seen like getting a hot dog at the concession stand.
Yeah.
Did anything like that happen with you guys?
Nah, we never had anything like that. Nothing
like go to the concession stand, but you're like, what is so-and-so doing?
That is really bad. The craziest thing we had involving Kentucky was my freshman year. You remember that big fight they had on the 50-yard line?
Trash can?
No, that was 2017, which I'm
surprised you didn't start with the trash can.
I was also a part of that. I had a coach grab me.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like halfway out there.
I remember the 50-yard line stuff because we were.
It's like 2014. I think.
Honestly, we were an inferior team, and I was like, okay, we got a little fight.
Right. So
this may be something now.
So Coach Petrino obviously remembers everything, and so that happened in 14. We played Kentucky 15 at their place. Lamar wins. They come back to our place my freshman year in 2016. So that's fresh in Coach Petrino's mind. That fight. I'm redshirting. Bunch of us, our whole class redshirted outside 2 guys. So we're all in the weight room, just out of the way. They put everybody out of the way because they're doing game day prep. You really don't have any responsibilities on game day. Just don't be an idiot.
Yep.
Andy Wagner, our DFO, walks in. He's like, hey, guys, come here. He's like, Coach Petrino said that you guys have full authority that if they start anything, you finish it. We will take any repercussions that come after it. You will not be punished. So we are like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, let's do. I mean, you had a bunch of 18, 19-year-old dudes in there ready to freaking.
The wheels start turning. Like, what can we do?
Yeah, we start hitting heavy bat. I mean, we're ready to go, and we walk out there, and it's just normal. It's just a normal day.
Cool, calm, and collected.
And we're like, how are we gonna? I mean, hands shaking, ready to put hands on somebody, and it's just the calmest thing you've ever seen.
Oh man! All right. Well, we got to roll. We've hit the bell. We hit the mark. We got to get rolling. Last question. Did you steal anything you weren't supposed to from U of L? I think statute of limitations is passed.
So Heisman Trophy would no.
Yeah, Lamar's backup Heisman Trophy is actually sitting in my den. Even if it was something stupid. Even if it was something stupid.
Yeah. So
like nothing like.
So Coach
legitimate.
Petrino used to give out. I think it was for like big hits and stuff like that, like a tomahawk. It was like a Louisville, like embroidered on the handle, had red and white feathers hanging off of it. Took one of those whenever I was coaching. Coach Petrino was fired. I was like, he ain't gonna miss this. It probably ain't gonna come back to Louisville to pick this up. But I really didn't need to steal anything, man. Because like, if I needed something, I'd go to the equipment staff. I'd be like, hey, that's the best thing I learned from my parents. I'm sure you learned from your parents as well, is like to just treat everyone with respect. And that's what I always told the freshmen coming in. I'm like, look, man, if you go to the equipment staff and like, I need, and don't ask how somebody's day's doing, or don't take the time to learn somebody's name, you're not going to get shit. I was talking to a recruit during March Madness, a kid that's a freshman now at Louisville, wide receiver. And he's like, what's the biggest advice you can give me? Like going into, you've been around. And I'm like, learn the janitor's name. Like, if you learn the janitor's name, that's step one, because Joe's going to take care of everything, all your trash, everything. I mean, that dude's doing the worst job probably in the whole stadium. And all he wants is just a what's up, how's your day? You know, and that from my freshman year, learning the janitor's name spun into like I could text and call equipment people, trainers, anyone from my time at Louisville just because I treated them with respect.
Yeah. Could you get stuff now if you asked for it?
Probably not.
No, even though it's like, hey, let me get a pair of shorts.
No, probably not. They'll be like, Lococo, why are you texting me? Everything now they just assume is me asking podcast stuff. They're like, were you just trying to get information? I'm like, dude, like, I'm not.
You're in the media now.
I'm really not.
You're legitimately in the media now.
Yeah, they're always like, we got to watch what we say around you. I'm like, I go to L Club meetings and since I lettered, I'm like, I go to all this stuff and don't talk about any of it. So I'm the last person that y'all need to worry about.
Steel trap.
Yeah.
Steel trap.
Yeah.
All right, man. This has been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun.
Cool.
Long time coming.
It's been an hour.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy too. So
yeah, you want to do another hour?
Nah, I think we got to pay for it if we do. I don't have that in the budget.
Don't have the hours.
Don't have it in the budget. So, all right. With that being said, thanks, man. It's been awesome.
Appreciate it.
It's been fun. We'll do it again at some point.
For sure.
All right.